My uncle tried to grape me. Dear Pastor, I am 27 and living alone, but I have been dating different guys. I am of light complexion, and the man I like the most is of very dark complexion. My mother doesn't like him because she is of light complexion. My father is dark-skinned and he has accepted this guy. But my mother thinks we may have dark-skinned children, and Jamaica is still very prejudiced. My father cursed her for saying it. He said when he was dating her, he didn't think of her color, he was only concerned about the type of wife she would make. Her parents didn't have any money to give to her, so he paid for everything. As I said, I really love this guy. He has manners. We were going for a whole year before we had sex. He never forced me. I told him I was a virgin and I did not want to lose it. He told me I could keep my virginity as long as I wanted. So when I was planning for my 25th birthday, I asked him about my gift, and he told me that he wanted me. We went to Montego Bay for a weekend, and that is where it happened. Even though we had sex, I continued to date other guys, but I have not slept with any of them. My father has 2 other children with 2 women. My mother says he was bad. I have a sister who is a medical doctor and a brother who is an engineer. My father supported them through university with the help of my father's brother. He put him through med school. But I am the only child for my mother. My mother continues to play the hypocrite. When my boyfriend comes to the house, she greets him well, but she grumbles about his blackness. He has told me that he does not think that my mother loves him. But I told him that she loves him a lot. I want to get married, but I have an issue. I don't trust lots of men. Even one of my mother's brothers attempted to grape me. I told my mother and she didn't believe me, but I couldn't tell my father because I was afraid he would have chopped him up. Whenever he comes to the house, I do not stay at home. I still cannot look at him, and he cannot look at me for long. I told him recently that I didn't trust him and I still hate him. He has told me many times that he is sorry for what he did. But I cannot forgive him, because if I did not sink my teeth into his arms, he would have graped me. I have never told my fiancé because I promised my mother that that would remain a family secret. Do you think I should let my boyfriend know that my uncle attempted to rape me? Anonymous.
Dear writer, although you said that you have been dating a number of men, it is quite evident to me that you have settled on one. This guy has played his cards very well. He is an intelligent young man, he did not force you into having sex with him. He has wooed you, and treated you with respect. Your boyfriend has been accepted by your father because he is of dark complexion, and he is annoyed by what your mother said. Your father had to remind your mother that although she was light-skinned, her relatives couldn't help her, but he put her through school. What your father is trying to say is that she should be very careful about what she says about your boyfriend. What is important is your boyfriend's character. Look at the type of man you have to call your uncle. He tried to grape you, and if you did not fight back he would have succeeded. To this day, you have kept quiet because your mother begged you to keep it as a family secret. Many years have rolled by, but the incident is still on your mind. You have never said anything to your fiancé, and you are wondering whether you should. If you feel that divulging what happened will help the relationship between your fiancé and you may go ahead and tell him. But if you believe that it will bring a further strain on the family, say nothing. You are planning to get married, so perhaps the matter could be raised during premarital counseling. You may ask your counselor for his suggestion. But if you intend to tell your boyfriend about the incident, you should tell your mother, because you had promised her that you would not say anything about it. Pastor.
Well guys, I am really sorry that this writer got fondled by her own uncle, but she managed to fight him off and kept her virginity even up to her mid-20s. Even so, today that seems almost highly unlikely to find a 25-year-old virgin female. So, it seems her fiancé really hit the jackpot. I do not think she should tell her fiancé what happened between her and her uncle. It is good to let things off her chest, and if his attempt failed then maybe her fiancé would believe that she might be lying, especially since she never told him earlier on in the relationship. So, To avoid complicating things, that secret should remain a secret between herself and her mother. Anyway guys, we have another story for you to listen to. But before we check that story out, please for me, subscribe to the channel for more Reddit, cheating and relationship stories like this one. Also, like the video to help it reach more people who enjoy listening to and learning from stories like this one.
My husband is terrible with money. Dear Pastor, I am 27 years old and I am married. I have 2 children, but I am very frustrated. My husband is always in debt, and when he borrows, he does not repay the people he borrowed from. He claims to be a Christian and he owes everybody in the church. It is very embarrassing for me. They come to me all the time and ask me to speak to my husband about repaying them. Sometimes I tell them that they did not borrow from me, so they should go to him themselves, but I say that out of embarrassment. My husband has a good job and I have a fairly good job. I do not pressure him for money. I asked him if he was giving women his money and he said no. He owes more than $1 million on his car. I told him to sell it. He said he would only do so if I would allow him to use my car to go to work and to hustle. I told him no, so he has not sold a car. One of the elders in the church said he is going to take him to court because he signed an agreement to pay him back and he has not done so. My husband is so embarrassed now that he hardly attends church and he is encouraging me to leave the church. I will not leave because I grew up in this church and my navel string is here. None of his siblings will help him. They say they will not get their money back. I do not know what to do, so give me your advice. SG.
Dear SG, your husband and yourself should make a budget and stick to it. He should live below his means. He should only buy what he needs and not what he wants. Perhaps part of the reason why he is always in debt is because he likes to show off. If he cannot manage money, you should manage it for him. Many people use their credit cards to purchase items that they do not need. So please make a budget, and keep it somewhere you can see it every day. Look around your house and see what you can sell and use that money to help you pay off your debt. I have gone to homes and I see excess furniture, more furniture than space. Such people are silly. If you have a very big television set, get rid of it and buy something smaller. You will be able to see the same movies and listen to the news and enjoy sports on a small television. Your husband should get another job, a part-time job, perhaps something on a Saturday. In that way he will earn a little more money and use that towards his debt. Some people join clubs. If he likes to play golf, he may have to stop doing so until he brings his debt down, because that is a very expensive sport. If he has a gym membership, he should give that up and go walking 2 or 3 times per week. He will save money and reduce his debt. I know it is tough for some people, but some people should not have credit cards unless they are going to pay off the balance every month. Believe me, that is not easy to do. So cut up the credit card and pay everything with cash. If you have cable, give it up. CVM and TVJ put out good movies. I know some people may hate me for saying these things, but I am trying to save your relationship. You don't have to go out to eat. Cook your own meals, you will enjoy your own cooking. I have said enough. Now put into practice what I have told you and write back to me 1 year from today. Pastor.
Sadly, in modern society people seem to have a lot of money problems due to bad spending habits and poor financial literacy on how to manage their money better and reduce the possibility of accumulating debt that cannot be paid off with their disposable income. Based on the writer's letter, I agree that her husband is terrible with money. It seems he is definitely out to keep up with the Joneses, which is never a good mentality to it because it always ends in a disaster, and being indebted to multiple and hiding those persons because you do not have the money to pay them back is bad as it gets if he doesn't start stealing or worse. I have been in the shoes of someone who has lent someone money and they still owe me up to now. The writer's husband needs to communicate with everyone he owes and take time to pay them one by one instead of hiding and probably causing anger and bitterness, because no one likes a person who hides from them and does not communicate when they have borrowed money. So, the lack of communication usually lets others feel disrespected. Lastly, I believe the wife should allow her husband to use her car since that would help him out a lot, and I am sure if she was the one indebted that the husband would allow her to drive his car around. Anyway guys, what do you think about these stories? What would you advise the writers to do in their situation? Let us know in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Love.